And we are live, I believe. Yes, we are. Good evening, everyone. Oh dear, a dislike after 27 seconds. That's to be a record. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. On a separate note from football, not sure if you just watched the Cricket World Cup. Absolutely sensational. We'll let a few people join. We'll give it a minute, and then we will crack on with the stream. As always, I will put a little bit of content out, have a little bit of a say on what's gone on in and around the den over this last week, and then I will go to your questions, which I have here on my laptop, and also have my glasses, so I haven't got to squint a lot. If you're saying stuff in a minute, I ain't going to be able to see it because I haven't got my glasses on. We are 94 people in already, so here we go. Lions TV, good evening. Welcome to this weekly roundup show live stream. I like to try and keep the live streams regular. I said before, I'm not a great fan of the live streams, but it gives me a good chance to interact with you, and also you can abuse me and nothing I can do about it. So enjoy it, do what you need to do. Let's start out by looking at obviously the last two transfers that have come in this week to the club. John Daddy Bavardson, and previously to him Connor Mahoney signed earlier in the week. I think it was Monday, maybe Tuesday, that Mahoney signed. I give conflicting opinions on each transfer. I was very happy with the Mahoney signing, young player of the year at Birmingham. And if I'm honest, I'm looking at Connor Mahoney and I'm thinking he is a class above what we've got. He's like when Jed first comes to the club, and I don't mean that disrespectfully to Jed, but he's also younger than Jed. He's both-footed. He's attacking, and he said that himself, Connor Mahoney. He said he will bring something different to the club. He'll get the ball and he will run directly at people and try and unlock defences, and that's exactly what we've been missing, especially as he's left-footed. It's given me a lot of hope for the season. I think it's going to be a 4-4-2 this season predominantly, but I'll get onto that a little bit further on in the VT, and I think Mahoney's going to play absolutely massively into our hands. Sorry, I'm going to squeak. Sorry, just a quick squint because I forgot to ask at the very beginning, can you all hear me nicely and can you see me clearly? I've just moved, by the way, in the last couple of weeks, and it's quite loud where I've moved to, which they didn't put on the description when I got it on Rightmove, but yeah, it's quite loud. So if you do hear any sounds from outside, fire engines mainly, right on cue, there's one. Then yeah, I'm sorry, you're going to have to deal with that. Crime seems to be up in and around the Bexley area at the minute. There seems to be a lot of sirens going off around here, but we'll roll with it. So yeah, listen, for me, Connor Mahoney is a very, very good signing. Like I said, a class above what I think we already had. Moving on to John Daddy Bavardson. Who is the daddy? I'm not sure he is the daddy, and there's going to be a lot of daddy jokes. It's a bit noncy, but there you go. It is what it is. I have not been so complimentary on the signing of Bavardson, and I hope I'm wrong. You know, I don't know too much about the guy, I'll be honest. He played for Kaiserslautern, as I've said. He played for Wolves, and a couple of Wolves fans commented on our videos, and they said, you know, he was decent for them. He just didn't score enough goals, which is pretty much all we need from him. So I don't know. He's obviously no mug, and he's had a little bit of an injury hit season last season. And as I said, I'm hoping I'm wrong. He's got involved in the squad at exactly the right time. He's gone on the tour of Portugal, which I'll get onto in a minute. But yeah, £750,000. I don't think he's going to be predominantly a starter, if I'm honest, the daddy. Yeah, I think he's going to be sort of an impact substitute, again, as I've already covered on the channel. And again, a lot of people don't agree with me. The job that Aiden does comes on as an impact, so tries to get us a goal. And I think he's going to be a similar player to Aiden. He apparently works very, very hard for the team that he plays for. So maybe he's a Millwall type player, and hopefully in time he'll prove me wrong and he'll be a fantastic hit. Right, now let's move on to the impending question, which are on a lot of people's lips today. There's been a lot of shit on social media. I don't know if you haven't seen it, then I'll fill you in briefly on the details. The club on Friday flew to their pre-season tour of Portugal, and I'm not going to go overkill on this. I'm just going to briefly have my say on it because I've already had shit full mention it online. People saying I'm stirring, but I'm not stirring because other fan channels and other outlets for Millwall fans have already been in contact about it. It's all over Twitter, so if I didn't discuss it on this channel, it will be a little bit of a weird one that I overlooked it. But what I'm talking about is, of course, Faro Gate. The club are on their pre-season tour of Portugal. Of course, as we're always told as Millwall fans, the tour is not open. It's behind closed doors. Unfortunately, what's happened is is last night we've played Fleetwood. By the way, we won 1-0 in the game with Sean Williams again getting his second goal in pre-season. Well done to the one, love him. And there was Fleetwood fans there. Fleetwood actually, as a club, organised the tour. I think it was £350, a 3-day tour. They didn't name the club they was playing. There was a tweet they put out online. They didn't actually name the club that they was playing was Millwall. Obviously, Millwall, that's Millwall with the reason behind that. But basically, Fleetwood have run a tour for their fans to Faro, go into the, I've forgotten what it's called. The Algarve. There you go, going to the Algarve. Plenty of Super Bock. There's photos all around. Fleetwood fans enjoying themselves, having a couple of Super Bocks, gallons of Super Bock. And yeah, so, we was told it's behind closed doors and Fleetwood fans were allowed to go. Now, there's been a lot of controversy about this online. I don't know any facts again, but I suspect the manager wanted the team just to focus on what they was doing. But for me, don't have the friendly with Fleetwood. There must have been teams queuing up over there, whether it's a local side, whether it's a young international side that could have played instead of Fleetwood. If you can't let one set of fans in without the other, and I know that Millwall have a history, and I know that we have got a reputation that precedes us. But if you're going to do behind closed doors, it's got to be, you can't have one rule for one and one for another, unfortunately. And the fact that Fleetwood fans were allowed to go has angered a lot of Millwall fans. I'll be honest, I was pissed off. I was pissed off because I would have gone. Without an absolute doubt, I would have gone, had a nice little break and given you some Millwall coverage while I was there through Lions TV. So it's disappointing. I do see both sides of the story. It is difficult for the club. And obviously, the club could invite the fans and then it could open a whole can of worms. You could get people turning up, pissed up, then it needs to be policed. And I'm not saying Millwall fans do it. We all know there's 1% of Millwall fans. And there is also a risk of any fans going over there. There could have been a couple of Fleetwood arrests last night. There could have been people pissing in alleys and rolling around the floor. You don't know. You don't get those reports. But it is a shame that we couldn't go. The club did come out and did issue an apology to our fans through their Twitter feed, which was a little bit of a bog standard sort of template apology. It wasn't really heartfelt. The thing is with this, I said to my mate's house for a barbecue, the club must have known it was coming. They knew they was going to go out there. They knew Fleetwood fans were going, and they knew that this shitstorm would arise on social media. And it has happened, so they would have been prepared for it. There was no way they would have gone into that blind. They knew, on day, where was it yesterday, day 2. So on Saturday, they know day 2 of the tour, they're going to be pissing Millwall fans off, and they would have been prepared for that. They have promised to look at that in the future about reviewing, letting our fans travel. And the problem is, another problem is with it, is that they have, you may not always want to take an ugly bird out, but you'd like to have the option, so probably 20% of the people that actually moaned about it online, myself included, probably would have gone. The other 80% probably wouldn't have gone. But as I said, if you want to take an ugly bird out, you at least would like to, you're not going to do it, but you'd like to have the option to choose. You want that option. That's your human right. So a little bit of I do feel for the club. It is a difficult situation for them, but it does need to be addressed in the future. My suggestion for this would be run it like you'd run Coach 1, like you'd run the away coaches from the Den. Now, people will look at that and go, well, fuck Coach 1, mate, I'm a fucking geezer on Millwall. So then you can't go. Simple as that. I'd swallow it. I'd go with the club. The club could make money out of it. They could give you a little bit of a tour guide to escort you round to the hotel. They put a team together who could, who would escort you on the flights, escort you to the hotel. It would be a ball ache for the club, but the fans want to go. And as I rightly said earlier to my mate when we was having this discussion, the club will put a call to arms out around February when it's freezing cold, absolutely freezing your bollocks off in South Bermondsey. They'll put a call out through Neil Harris. They'll put a call to arms saying, we need you down then tonight on a freezing cold Tuesday night in February to try and get behind a team to avoid relegation. So you can't have it both ways, unfortunately. But it's a difficult one for the club. I will give him that. And they have promised to look at it going forward. So, as I said, my suggestion would be go through the club. If you think you're too much of a geezer and you're too hard and I'm fucking Millwall, mate, I can't go with the supporters club because I'm an hard nut, then you don't get to go. Do it right. If you want to go to the games, behave yourself, go with the club, and then everyone is a winner. As it stands, it hasn't gone down well today on social media, and it's overshadowed the pre-season tour early doors. As I said, we did win the game against Fleetwood by 1-0. 86 minutes was on the clock when Sean Williams got the winner. That's a double for the Wanderers, I've said, in this pre-season. Danny McNamara started right back. It was Fielding in goal. I don't know the team off the top of my head. I should have looked that up, really, but it was interesting to see Fred and Skalak play. Fred definitely started, so I'm hoping that it's the start of things to come. and Fred could get another chance at the club. Don't forget he's only 22 years old, same age as Conor Mahoney. But yeah, that's about it. That's the Millwall news. 2 good signings this week, more needed, much more needed. And the pre-season tour's underway. Good to see some youngsters out there as well. Tyler Burry, is it? Is out there. I know Skeffington's out there. I've seen it on his Instagram. Sam Skeffington, sorry Sam, I think that's your first name. Danny McNamara, and of course the legend is Billy Mitchell. It's good to see the youth out there. And as I said, with these signings and with youth now coming through, it looks like we are moving forward as a club. I have waffled on for over 10 minutes, and I can see there's a lot of questions popping up. So let's go to the questions. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about? Oh, straight in. I'm going to put the bins on for this. We're going to start firing in questions, boys and girls. Appreciate you all tuning in, as always. Why did that just go dark? It just went dark a bit, but there you go. Made my job a little bit harder. Matthew Gagan says, Berahino. I think he's implying, are we going to sign, is it Saido Berahino? I did hear a rumour. Someone messaged me on Twitter, can you follow me please? We've got some massive news. And when I followed him, he immediately messaged me and he said, where Berahino's going to go with Millwall on the tour as a trialist. Now, I don't know whether that's true. I don't know whether he's out there. But would I want Berahino? Could we afford Berahino's wages? I'd take a chance on him. As I said, I think we need another striker. I think Aiden and Bavardson are too similar. That's the feeling I'm getting. I don't know that for a definite, but they're both wingers/strikers that could come on and potentially give you something different to change your game to score a goal. And then you've got Matt Smith and Bradshaw, which I'm happy with. But I'd like to see us break the bank, or, well, if not break the bank transfer-wise, then definitely budget-wise. And for me, yeah, Berahino could definitely be an option. There is obviously talk that he's got an attitude problem, and that's why he hasn't played a lot of football, because he was very good back in his early days at West Brom, scoring goals for England at youth level. But Berahino, I did hear a rumour, as I said, and again, unconfirmed rumours. I don't know it for a fact that he was out there. But as of yet, not really seen the man. Billy Symes, my boy, the bromance goes on. Latest on Jamal Lowe. Portsmouth went on their pre-season tour of Ireland. They came back, and I don't actually know, again, maybe should have done a bit more research. But apparently yesterday, Jamal Lowe wasn't involved in the squad for the friendly they had against a team called, I think it was Hawk or White. Was it White Hawk? I'm not sure. But I think Jamal Lowe's probably now getting unsettled. There's a lot of interest in him, not just from Millwall, but from a lot of clubs in the Championship. Portsmouth did come out, or a well-respected journalist in Portsmouth on Twitter, saying that a Championship club has now put in two new bids for Jamal Lowe, and they didn't confirm what club that was. I was hoping it was us. I've heard that it was Wigan, and if he goes to Wigan, one, it's a backwards move for him, and two, it's just shit, innit? Let's have it right. For £3 million, I would break the bank and I would buy Jamal Lowe. Whether that's going to happen, I still don't know. I've still got a gut feeling. I say it's just my gut instinct. I have got a feeling that it could still happen with Jamal Lowe, and I welcome him with open arms. A lot of people saying we've got Conor Mahoney now, we don't need Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe is right-footed, he's a right winger, can also play up front, but he's predominantly plays in the same position that Jed Wallace does for us. Would that see Jed leave? I don't think so. I think Jed's Millwall through and through. I think he loves the club. I think he's settled in the area, and I don't think he'll be leaving. I just think Harris wants a lot of people to choose from. And Jamal Lowe up front, playing off Matt Smith in competition with Bradshaw. Jamal Lowe, there in case, Mahoney or Jed isn't working out. Also, Jed can play central. It's good to have options. I think the gaffer has definitely stated that he wants options, and he wants players at the club that are going to fight for their place. I think Jamal Lowe would be a statement of intent, and I'd love to sign him, Bill. But at the minute, mate, not so much. Jesus Christ, is that? Oh no, I thought that's 24 dislikes. That's 24 likes. Not I'm vain. Moving on to the next question. What backup keeper do you want? Asks someone, Charlie, mate. Sorry, it's going very quickly and I didn't see it. And if I don't get to answer your questions, by the way, I am sorry. I will keep going for as long as possible. It's currently 20 to 9, so I'll try and go for at least an hour. Question I was just asked. Backup goalkeeper. Again, I was having this chat earlier with my mate. It's a funny one because Bolkowski was the only goalkeeper we was linked with. It was Bolkowski. Oh, wait, his kneecaps have fell off. And then Frank Fielding just come out of nowhere. So there's not been any whispers of another goalkeeper. There absolutely has to be another goalkeeper at the club before we start the season. Ryan Sanford is going to be the 23's keeper. He's a good, young, experienced keeper. But he's not first team ready, and I don't think the gaffer really rates him in that bracket. So we definitely need another keeper. I have no idea who this other keeper is going to be. I think it will be a shot at the cannon like Fielding was. There was talk of, obviously, excuse me, McLaughlin. Not Conor McLaughlin, he's gone to Sunderland. There was talk of us getting John McLaughlin, the Sunderland keeper, who's 31 years old. Again, as we discussed before on this channel, an older goalkeeper isn't always a problem. 31's not really old for a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper I rate highly, I've said it many times on the channel, is Connor Ripley. He's Preston's backup keeper, but I would have took a chance on him. I'd like to see us go for sort of a 25-year-old keeper. I think Fielding's going to be the number one, though. I do think Fielding's the number one. The Dave Martin leaving sort of fucked it a bit. I think Dave Martin was going to be the number one, and maybe Fielding was going to be his backup. But now we do need to find another keeper, without doubt. On that rumour and transfer front, I've not actually heard anything. So keep your eyes peeled. Next week, maybe not, because the players are still out there and in Portugal. But we need to sign one soon, boys and girls. We've got Gillingham a week today. A week after that, we're at home to Real Sociedad in... Is it Sociedad? Yeah, Sociedad in a friendly at the Den. And then the week after that, we're back in business. The Championship resumes, and we go for our third year consecutively of sustaining and retaining our Championship status. Harry Mitchell, will Bradshaw do the business? Hashtag bring on the Bradshaw. I am hoping and praying. He drove down my road the other day, apparently, Bradshaw. He's from in and around the area. So, well, he's not from in and around the area, but that's now where he lives. He seems very settled. I'm hearing he's looking razor sharp in training, Bradshaw. He's looking razor sharp, and little bit of inside info. I do know that the team played a behind closed doors friendly at Kelmore Road last week, and they won 2-0, and Bradshaw scored one of those goals. So I'm backing the Bradshaw to do well. He's got a lot to prove again. Another player with a lot to prove. He will be hungry for it. As I said, he's happy and settled in the area, which is always a good thing. Obviously, not being from the area, and he looks lean and mean apparently in training. Photos I'm seeing, he looks happy. And listen, we are relying heavily on Bradshaw to do the business. And I think Bradshaw's going to have a little bit of an easier task than Lee Gregory did. As we know, the 4-4-2 works for us when you've got two players that can do it. As I've covered before in a previous video, Steve Morrison got to the age where his game tailed off, and that in turn affected Gregory's game. I think you're going to see Bradshaw get a lot of deliveries from Mahoney, a lot of deliveries from Jeb Wallace, and a lot of knockdowns from Matt Smith. I think he's going to get the opportunities, Bradshaw, and I'm backing him. Hashtag back the Bradshaw. Didn't even say that properly, but you know what I mean. Exotic _ Wow, what a name. My starting 11. Okay. This is what I think the starting 11 is going to be for the start of the season. In fact, I'm almost pretty sure of it. I think our starting 11 against Preston is going to be Frank Fielding in goal. Marlon Romeo right back. Then it's going to be... This is going to... I'm not too sure of. It might be Fergie. It might be Murray Wallace. I'd probably go with Murray Wallace at left back. Then it's going to be Jake Cooper and Alex Pearce as our centre backs, with Pearce, I think, will captain the side. Then our midfield four, I'm telling you now, it's going to be Jeb Wallace on the right, it's going to be Conor Mahoney on the left, and then the central midfield pairing is going to be Ryan Leonard alongside Ben Thompson. Trust me, that's what's going to happen. And then up front, I think you're going to see Matt Smith and Tom bring on the Bradshaw. So a good side, a better side than we had last year, surprisingly, I think. I think that's going to be the first choice for Harris, starting 11. I'll be surprised if it's anything other than that. I think we will venture to other formations this year again. We tried the 3-5-2 in one game last year at Sheffield United randomly. And also we had the sort of... Sorry, I've got the fan on there and it's giving me a bad throat. The 4... What was it last year? The 4-1-3-2, I think, something like that. No, one up front, wasn't it? It was like 4-1-4-1, basically. Yeah, that was the formation we went with last year. I think you'll see that, but I don't think you'll see as much. I think we're going to go back to what Neil Harris does and knows best, and that's the 4-4-2. Ollie Glenn. Bexley Heath Nando's has closed down. It fucking better not, mate, because it's at the end of my road. Right. Where do you think we'll finish? Callum Keppel says, where do I think we will finish this year? I'll tell you what, mate, I've got to be honest. I'm starting to like the noises that come out of the gaffer's mouth. I like what he's doing. I like the players he's signing. I like the players he's released, with the exception of Conor McLaughlin. I think we'll be comfortable. I think we'll be safe. I think we'll improve on last year. Somewhere in between our first season in the Championship and our second season in the Championship. Probably around 15th I'll go for. I think playoffs could be pushing it with the amount of new players we've got in. But I think 15th, I think we'll definitely improve on last year. And I'll be absolutely over the Kenneth Boone with that as well. Nancy Smith. Nancy Smith. I'm going to say what we've commented, and when I heard the rumour that you just said there, I was very, very surprised. Jake Cooper to Arsenal. I am pissed. No, I'm not pissed really. I'm on the something soft today. I broke all my glasses. Broke all my drinking glasses, so I'm drinking out of mugs. What a tramp. But Jake Cooper to Arsenal is a rumour I have heard. I have heard that Jake Cooper is potentially an interest of Arsenal, that they've offered 7 million. No. They've offered 9 million for Cooper. Then if he ever makes 5 England caps, they'll give us another 2 million. And on top of that, they're willing to loan us a player for the whole of next season called someone Rowe. That's what someone sent me. I don't believe it. I think that's waffle. And I'm not saying Jake Cooper isn't he isn't good enough for the Premier League right now. I've always said that he's definitely got the potential that he could play in the Premier League, and people laughed at me at that point, but I think he's proven now that he's getting better and better. Is it that much of an outrageous statement? You know, Koscielny is obviously fucking around at Arsenal. We refused to go on their pre-season tour. And obviously, I mean, a couple of years ago, Arsenal went to Bolton, which are a team now in League One, but were Championship at the time, and signed Rob Holding. And if Arsenal get hold of Jake Cooper, believe you me, if he's training with Arsenal players day in, day out, he will be a very good player instantly. Like within the first 6 months, it improved massively. So is it something, is it a rumour I believe? No, I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I don't know why, because I've backed Cooper, as I said, to be a good player and go on to bigger and better things. But I just can't see it. I can't see Cooper to Arsenal. But again, you've heard the rumour. It's probably a rumour just doing the rounds. And I also have heard the same rumour. On that subject, Keen YT says, I wouldn't sell Cooper for any less than 15 million. I'd be inclined to agree with you. I'd sell Cooper if I knew that we was going to get all the funds to sell. Basically, if they said, look, Cooper, 10 million, there's 10 million, and then Millwall said, okay, there you go, Harris, go and buy a striker for £10 million. I'd be tempted. But to sell him for 15 and then we don't ever see any of the money to spend on transfers, no, I wouldn't be interested in that. But I think it's going that way, isn't it? The money in football's frightening now. And as Aidan Flint left Bristol City to go to Middlesbrough, didn't he, for last season, I think he was about 4 or 5 years older than Cooper at the time. And I think he went for about 7-8 million. So in today's terms, it's frightening. It sounds, you know, for someone of my age that would remember Alan Shearer leaving Blackburn for Newcastle for 15 million. To put Jake Cooper in that same bracket is a little bit scary, but at the same time, it's a little bit real. It could happen. Simesy, you're in again, boy. You just said to me that you have heard Yuri Skalak is on fire. Yeah, I'm hearing things about Skalak that he's doing well. There's things that I wouldn't always take into consideration, that I don't take into consideration, that you don't know about it, go on behind closed doors at football clubs. And, you know, Neil Harris has come out and said, I've told Skalak to come here and prove a point now. Now, my argument would have been prove a point when you first joined the club. But he's got a full season, he's got a full pre-season behind him now. He now will have a full pre-season behind him. So maybe that does make a difference. Again, a player I've criticised and I really want him to do well because he's going to play is Ryan Leonard. He also hasn't had a full pre-season. Bradshaw didn't have... Look, just have it right. They've had pre-seasons at the clubs they was at previously, Brighton, Barnsley, Southend. But to get in with the squad and gel with the squad, be around the squad on this behind closed door tours. Tried to make a joke then and shouldn't have done it because it didn't work. But anyway, let's get back. I'm going to make some mistakes in over an hour, aren't I? But what was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. Actually lost my head. Oh yeah, like, you know, Yuri Skalak, these players come in and, you know, Harris is saying to Skalak, get sharp, prove a point. He's had an extra 6 weeks, 6 or so weeks off there from the rest of the players. So maybe he has gone away and he's give it a good go. I speak to people who say Yuri Skalak has got a very, very good delivery. But again, we're having a little bit of a load up there of similar players. We've now got Jed, Mahoney, Skalak, Fred. For me, they're all wingers. And, you know, again, if we buy Jamal, which I'm not saying we will do, that's another player. It's I think Skalak could do well for us, but I don't think he's going to get in front of Jed and he's not going to get in front of Mahoney. So he might be good to bring on as a substitute, an impact sub, try and change a game. But I don't not rate him. I don't really know enough about Scalak. I haven't seen enough of him to fully comment. But he could do well for us. But I don't think he's going to get the opportunity. I think that's the short story long. What I'm trying to say. Right. Anya, can't pronounce your surname. Sorry, it's it's too hard to pronounce. But Anna has asked, and it's been if there's any swearing or offensive stuff, YouTube retain the comment and wait for me to approve it. And this one's been hidden because Anna's comments are: "We need a centre midfield with legs who can break up the play. We will be fucked with Leonard." Oh, I don't want to turn it into a witch hunt. But I've said it before and I say it again. I don't think Ryan Leonard's good enough. I think he works hard. I think he does work very hard, but he's honestly, I think I could give him a race over 100 yards. Well, no, not me, but he lacks pace. He lacks pace. He doesn't lack the fight. I think, you see him get injured a lot, Ryan Leonard. Every game he'll go down because he does go into the tackles. But I just don't think he gets anywhere quick enough or does anything sharp enough for me. And with Ben Thompson in there, as I said, which I think will be predominantly a 4-4-2, we definitely need another holding midfield player. Rumours around that obviously was Punchin, who was a winger but plays central as he gets older. I'm hearing that Herbie Kane could still be a possibility, and maybe he'll push Leonard. But the gaffer again, I don't want to keep going over old ground, but I've been asked a question. Neil Harris has tracked Ryan Leonard for a long, long time. He knows him from his Southend days. He rates him highly. He's our all-time record signing still. And he's going to play him. He's going to be loyal, Harris, in one sense, which is good. But in the other, he needs to bite the bullet, in my opinion, and say that Leonard isn't good enough. And, the question I ask as well, as I'll ask you, where do you think Leonard's going to go after Millwall? He's only going to go backwards. He's going to go back to League One after Millwall. He's not good enough for his standard football, in my opinion. But listen, once again, I hope Leonard comes out, and I'm 3 weeks in, I'm saying I was wrong about Leonard. He's shoved out at me. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about because he's flying for Millwall, Millwall getting results. That's what I honestly want. I don't want to bury players, but for me, he's not going to do the business. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Anna's comment that we do need someone else in there with Ben Thompson. Now, as we know, Ben Thompson will be the further forward-thinking midfielder, whereas before he went away to Portsmouth, he would have been a ball winner. But he's come back not only a 10 times better player, but almost a new man in a new position. And for that, we thank you, Sir Kenneth of Jacket. Billy Symes again. Only if you give me a chance to plug the 1885 Clobber Bill. Opinions on the new kit, not as nice as the No One Likes Us Clobber. I ain't seen your name pop up on an order yet though, Bill. I've got to be honest. Get on that after the video. Yeah, the new kit, I don't like it. I'm not a great lover of it. I said it reminded me of Tony the Tiger. I don't know why. I think it's the stripes on the arm. Now, I've just been round my mate's house and his little boy's got the kit on. It looks really good on the kids. But on the men, I don't think it looks too good. I don't think it looks very good. Sorry, I just had a message there from my mate Ricky Ball and said, good as I'm just about to have a bath. Why are you telling me that, Rick? Or unless he's going to watch it whilst he's in the bath. Anyhow, maybe I should have brought that up. But anyway, getting back to the kit. Yeah, if you remember back to last season's away strip, the silver one, the grey one with the darker grey, everyone hammered that. It looks like a training kit is shit because it had the V-neck. It's the same kit pretty much, just with different colours and a few stripes. So I don't know why the reception to it is so good from the fans. A lot of people like the kit. And listen, a kit's a kit. As I said, the players could play in fancy dress for all. I couldn't give a fuck. If you like it, then I'm happy. It keeps everyone happy. I am hearing that the away kit is going to be yellow and nothing like the home kit. I think it's going to be a completely different style of kit. A little bit like the old Lewisham kit back in the day with the yellow with the very thin red and black stripes. I'm not saying it's going to have red and black stripes in it, but I'm hearing the away kit is completely different from the home and it's going to be yellow tops with black shorts. So I'm hearing. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Any abuse from me? Any abuse from anyone? Still looking through comments here. DJ Play says, "Do you think we'll go for low?" He thinks we'll go for low. Glenn Williams, any Archer news? Yes, he's just won the World Cup for England, the Cricket World Cup. I've never watched cricket in my life. I don't like long, drawn-out sports. That's why I don't really like golf. I don't mind tennis. Cricket is a no-go. I can't deal with sports. It's just fucking going forever. Just get in, impact, get it done. It brings more excitement. But I've got to tell you, that Cricket World Cup final was absolutely superb. I just watched it around my mate's house. A few of us ran there, and it was mad. It was a mad finish. I didn't really know the rules, so every time something exciting was happening, I was asking the rules. But yeah, that's the only Archer I'm prepared to talk about on this channel anymore, because in the summer, Jordan Archer left our football club, and it was a very, very fantastic day in my life. And if you've noticed, everyone that's left so far, Tunnicliffe, McLaughlin, another goalkeeper, Tom King, they've all got clubs. They've all got clubs, new clubs. So far, Jordan Archer hasn't got a club. I don't know. I'm saying nothing. Ollie Glenn, who is your favourite Millwall manager and player of all time? This has been answered before a lot of times with my favourite player, but my favourite player of all time is Alex Ray, closely followed by Tim Cahill, probably closely followed by, I don't know, there's a few up there, Cass, Rhino, the Gaffer, there's loads. My favourite manager, I'm going to go my favourite manager, Mark McGee, and the reason being is this. John Dockey obviously is the one and only manager. Trying to do a live stream here, mate. Don't care if there's people injured or on fire. Yes, for me, the greatest manager, my favourite manager, he's not the greatest manager, but my favourite manager is Mark McGee. Yes, John Dockey took us to the promised land, the one and only manager to ever do in our history. Before that, we had a very good manager in John Dockey. That's another manager in my lifetime. Other managers in my lifetime, Jimmy Nicholl, Carnage. Mick McCarthy I liked a lot. He was in and around the club for a long time, left under a bit of a cloud. We're not going to talk about another two later on, Lomas Holloway. Kenny Jackett I liked, but I think that Kenny Jackett left the club at the right time for Kenny. I think he left a lot of players that wasn't great on long contracts. Sorry, I'm scratching my foot. And for me, it has to be Mark McGee. And I think not only because we were successful under McGee, but it was at a time in my life, the 2000-2001 season, I was 21 years old. We got promoted. That's when I was going out a lot and boozing and partying and all sorts. So it was a very good time. We'd be out, up the lounge in Chislehurst, Ratton Parrot and Bexley Heath, Bromley, the Delanos, what's the other one? Bridge Bar. And you see the players out a lot. Sad's always out boozing, Robbie Ryan, Denzel, Ifill. It was good times. It was good times. So for me, I'd probably say that the era I enjoyed most was Mark McGee's management. Yeah, there's some more abuse for Leonard. Let's leave that now, though, Leonard. I don't want to keep going on about him. I want to see when he has a stormer. Excited. Ghosty G says, are you excited to smash Cholton? This is a good story. So yesterday, me and Mini-Me are up Bexley Heath and we're having a little wander around the shops. And he says to me, Dad, there's people who are these people? There's people taking photos of buses going past, people taking photos of the 442 and the 96. He's like, who are these people? And I've said, probably Cholton fans. He's laughed. 2 minutes later, an old boy walks past in a Cholton shirt. And I said to Henry and Mini-Me, I said, that's a coincidence. Look, I just said about Cholton. Anyway, come home and I look on Twitter and obviously Cholton are actually playing away at Welling, which is the next town along from where I live. So that was why the people were actually taking photos of buses. They're a strange bunch. And then last night I went out and I was on the train up into Cannon Street and there was a few pissed up Cholton fans on the train. There was one bald dude and he was pissed at his head. He had a can of Foster's on, yeah. And he's like abusing, he's going, yeah, well, I hate near all that. And I would have given him a dry slap, probably. No, I wouldn't really, I'm not that sort of guy. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but he was going on, he was being so loud, saying he hates Millwall. So I'm glad we affect them so much. But I'm looking forward to smashing Cholton. We know it'll happen, and it's a nice local away day. Yeah, I do enjoy the games against Cholton. It's not really, it is a local rivalry in a sense, but I don't dislike Cholton. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Cholton away games. Why not? If it happens, okay. So Billy Davis has just said, going back to the Jake Cooper thing that I said, if it happens, the player that they've said that they'll give us on loan. If Arsenal, if anyone hasn't seen, just tuned in, someone asked me about a rumour about Jake Cooper going to Arsenal, and yes, I did hear that same rumour that it was going to be Arsenal offered $9 million for Cooper, plus they'll give us another $2 million after if he ever makes 5 England caps. And the third stipulation of that deal was they'd give us a player on loan for the whole of this season, and I couldn't think of the guy's name, and Billy Davis has just filled me in. Cheers, Bill. The player mentioned was Smith Rowe. Means absolutely nothing to me. Right. Okay, Alan Smith says, I really rate Sean Williams, underrated player. Mate, I am with you. I think I'm in a minority with you. Sean Williams, I know it's only pre-season. I know they're only friendlies, but he scored 2 goals in 2 games, and I think he's a good player. I think he is massively underrated. If you look at last season, a lot of our players were more exposed because we struggled. The year before, when we was doing well, we 17-game unbeaten run. Sean Williams is doing well. The team are doing well, and Williams was getting the ball, and people were saying, "Oh, look, he's so composed." You know, if we're winning, Sean Williams gets the ball, and he seems to have like unlimited time on the ball. He slows the play down. Blah blah blah. That was fantastic. Now people are saying Williams is too slow. You know, he don't get back or forward quick enough. That's because we had a bad season last season. I still think with the midfielders we've got, central midfielders, Ben Thompson first choice. Who would play him with Ben Thompson? At the minute, the options are Billy Mitchell, fantastic young player. I think he's going to do well, but maybe not as a starter just now. Sean Williams and Ryan Leonard. I'd play Williams. I'd play Williams and Tomo. I think they do well when they play there. The last time I recalled them playing there together was Norwich at home, and I think we competed very well against Norwich for a very long time before their class finally showed through. Sean Williams, for me, massively overrated. He is ageing now, but is he a starter? Of the starters, as I say, the options I've just given you, yes, I'd have him as a starter. If I could sign another player now, I'd sign a central midfielder and a goalkeeper, but we need centre midfielders. We need another central midfielder to play alongside Ben Thompson. But as I've said, play with Thompson. If my choices are Williams, Mitchell, and Leonard, I'm choosing Williams. Some may disagree, but for me, I like the wand. Always have. He's getting better with age, in my opinion, as well. Don't forget, there was a spell 2-3 seasons ago when he couldn't really get in the team. Good player, good experienced player. Knows this level of football, knows how to play football, international. Long live the wand. It's Venom says, do I think that these signings will see us through to a top 6? So I don't know, I'm coughing so much. I think top 6 is ambitious, mate, if I'm honest. The simple reason is, it's a lot of players that have come in. It's a lot of players. So far, 5 have come in this window. If you want to count Tyler Burry or Burry, I don't know, find out his actual surname. That'll be 6. But 5 first-team players in this summer, which are John Daddy Bavardson, Connor Mahoney, Matt Smith, Frank Fielding, and Alex Pearce. So 5 players. Pearce is already in the squad, granted, but we're going to get, I think, another 2 or 3, and we definitely need a keeper. Keeper, centre midfield. If we broke the bank and went goalkeeper, centre midfielder, centre forward, and we spent, okay, goalkeeper maybe not so much. We spent 5 on a centre midfield, 5 on a centre forward. They ain't going to get you a load for in this day and age for the money, money players are. But yeah, for me, that would be a good move. And that could possibly then see us towards a top 6 finish. But again, you've got a lot of clubs coming down. The big clubs. You've got a lot of clubs that didn't go up last year. Like West Brom, for example. Like Derby, always in and around it. Maybe that's not the best example, Derby. Leeds, obviously, they're getting players in again from like ridiculous teams. I think Helder Costa, is he just signed for him? So it's going to be difficult to compete. It's going to be very difficult. Top 6 is ambitious. But if it happens, fantastic. Steve Morrison do at Shrewsbury goal-wise. I still think he's got it in the tank. Moreau for League One, I do really think that. Loud fire engine. Yeah, I still think Morrow's got it in a tank for Shrewsbury. He's obviously passed it at Mill, which was a shame, but fair play to Morrow because he could have sat at Mill for another year and sat on his contract. But instead, he said he wanted to carry on playing, so we've loaned him out there for a year. And once he's back at Millwall for the 2020-21 season, that'll be then, yeah. I fully expect Steve Morrison to become part of the coaching staff, if not the under-23s manager. Sorry, I'm just looking at... just looking for some more questions. Dan Smith. I know you, Dan, don't I? Yeah. Hello, mate. Dan Smith says, do we need a left back? Okay. I don't know if you saw my video last week, my weekly roundup, but James Meredith is missing in action. I know what's happened, but I'm not going to tell you what's happened in fear of getting in trouble. So, I don't think James Meredith's a Millwall player anymore. I'm pretty sure he isn't. I'm not going to say anything other than that, but I think he's left the club. No, we don't need another left back. We've got 2 left backs. Well, we've got 2 current first team left backs. So I'm not picking my nose, I'm just scratching it. The 2 current left backs are Murray Wallace and Shane Ferguson. In my opinion, Conor Mahoney is now going to be the out-and-out first choice left winger. Really itchy nose. That's not like a little secret sign or anything. That's genuine on itchy nose. Yeah, for me, Conor Mahoney's the first choice left winger, which I prefer Fergie at left back anyway. Fergie had a great season last season. Yes, he did, but he tailed off towards the end, and he was only performing to a level that I would have expected him to perform to anyway. So I think Murray Wallace will probably be the first choice left back. I'll be happy with that, with Fergie as backup for either him or Mahoney. Fergie being versatile, that can sometimes ruin it a bit for a player. If you're versatile, then you'll go on the bench in case a left back or a left midfield, you can slot into either. And sometimes being a versatile player can come back to bite you in the arse. But there are 2 left backs, and then on top of that, you've got this guy Tienza, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, and if you are watching, I do apologise, but he is supposed to be an absolute machine. He got offered, he got his first year pro contract at the back end of last season, and he's one of the 8 that signed, along with Billy Mitchell, George Alexander, Sam Skeffington. There's a few others in there, boys, as well. Sorry if I don't know your name, I haven't covered you, but yeah. He's supposed to be a machine, the guy. He's very young, yes, but he's there. He'll be in and around the first team squad. He has also travelled to Portugal, so I believe. Right backs wise, we've got Marlon Romeo, Danny McNamara, and James Brown. James Brown, I've covered before. He was on loan. I've seen James Brown play quite a lot, because when the 23s used to play at Dartford, I used to go regularly. And he was good. He was captain of the 23s quite a lot, James Brown. Quite similar to Marlon. Likes to get forward, likes to get on the overlap. But he spent a lot of time out on loan at clubs in Scotland. Carlisle, notably. I think he went to Lincoln but didn't play. And he's finally looks like now he's going to get his bite of the cherry to be Marlon's understudy, with Conor McLaughlin moving on to Sunderland. And he's fucking got injured in training. I feel for him. I feel for him. I think he could be a good player for us. So definitely, potentially a decent backup for Marlon. And then you've got Danny Mack. Danny Mack, obviously, first team player, come on against Wigan. Again, Danny Mack I've seen quite a lot of. Don't rate him as highly as I do James Brown. Younger than James Brown. No disrespect, Dan. You're probably watching. He's got to grow a bit. He's got to bulk up a bit. Technically good. And I think it's definitely will benefit him being in and around the first team. So yeah, I think if anything, we might look for an experienced right back as cover. I think left backs we're covered. But yeah, a lot of fullbacks. A lot of talk of fullbacks. Left back, I think we're covered. If anything, if Marlon did get injured, I think, especially with James Brown currently being injured, to throw Danny Mack in, as much as I hope he'd do well, I think it could be a little bit too soon for Danny Mack. So, a right back. Hang on a minute. Charlie Kyle, any giveaways, Dan? Running out of clobber. Wow. Someone else just said they would need Ian for VR. That'd be lovely. But anyway, getting back to Charlie Kyle, any giveaways? Mate, I do giveaways all the time. I've given away I'd bordering on, mate, hundreds, possibly thousands of pounds worth of match tickets, memorabilia. I'll give away all sorts, mate, on this channel, loads and loads. I'm doing one on Instagram pretty much every other day at the minute, where I'm giving away, doing caption competitions. Yeah, follow our Instagram if you can. TV Lions, I'm trying to get our Instagram followers to 10,000. I'm doing a Lions TV 10,000 subscriber giveaway, where I'm giving away signed shirts, signed photos, programs, videos, the sign, the den sign you used to see in the videos. I'm not giving away that, by the way, behind me, because my sponsor from last season, Neon Creations, kindly made me that, and it's about £1,000 worth of neon signage. So that won't be going. But I'm giving so much stuff away, honestly. It's a joke. I might even give a couple of Preston match tickets away. We got to get there. Actually, there you go. I'm throwing it in the mix. I will give away as well 2 home match tickets for the opening day against Preston. I'll put it out there on social media maybe tonight or tomorrow. But subscribe to the channel, and the subscribers to the channel will get it. We're very close to 10k. We are even closer to passing the Millwall Football Club official YouTube channel. They've got something like 4,400,000 views, and I'm about 150,000 views short of that. So we will pass their views in the coming weeks. We've had, say, a lot of views over all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, blah, blah, Facebook. We've had about 7 million views, but for some reason, our subscribers have always struggled. Like, we're just short of 10,000. We should have double that now with the amount of views we get, but we don't. And I try to give stuff away constantly, and it just doesn't always work. But yes, mate, lots of giveaways. Say, check out our Instagram, TV Lions. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Lions TV, because 10,000, we are about 115 subscribers away, and then I can get rid of all that stuff. And as I said, I recently moved, so I wanted to get rid of it before I had to move, but I don't have the card it all with me. And it was hard work, but yeah, this is life, children, this is life. More abuse for Leonard. I actually feel quite sorry for Ryan Leonard, not that he probably cares. But who do you think will gel up front the most out of our existing players and the additions we have brought in? I think there's a lot of people not questioning, a lot of people having their opinions on who's going to play where, who's going to be the main strikers. I think it's going to be Smith and Bradshaw. I think Bavardsson's going to be a bit part player, so an impact sub. I think, as I just said earlier on, I think Bradshaw's going to find it easier than Gregory did last season because he's got a player that's going to win the ball. I think Matt Smith's going to do well for us. Matt Smith is a player that plays into the hands of a Millwall team and tactics. That's what I was thinking to try and say. That's why I was looking high for inspiration. I don't know, I should be looking down for inspiration. My inspiration. Anyway, yeah, Matt Smith plays ugly. Apparently he's not bad with the ball at his feet. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I think he's a very, very big improvement on Tom Elliott and Steve Morrison. I think he'll win balls in the air. I think he's been doing it in this division for a long time. I don't think you're going to get a load of goals out of Matt Smith, although having said that, the prospect of him and Jake Cooper at corners is frightening. But yeah, I think Matt Smith and Bradshaw, and I'm backing them to do well. I'm backing the boys to be the new deadly duo. Hello from a Bohemian fans in Dublin, Dan. Hello, mate. How are you? Frankie says, what other players do we need to bring in? I said it, mate. Goalkeeper, central midfielder, centre forward. In that order. Definitely in that order. Anthony Jessup, why is Harris playing Fred if he doesn't want to play for the club? Give the young lads game time. In particular, we are talking about Fred. Just quickly, Henry Saul says, Kieran Westwood. That word you've put there, mate, is that a misspell or is that a word that I don't know? I'll have to get the thesaurus out. Ebullient? Kieran Westwood, ebullient, number 2. Fair enough. Kieran Westwood, I'd have him as a number 2 all day long. But getting back to the original question about Fred, I've covered the Fred thing so many times, I don't want to keep boring people with it going over it. But now it does appear that there could possibly have been a U-turn with the Fred situation. Fred is currently out with the squad in Portugal, and I don't think he'd be out there if he didn't have any future at the club. Apparently he played well and he did score against, it was only Concord Rangers, but that is what happened. Neil Harris come out and we know he said he's been unplayable in training. We know he said he'll never play for the club again. We've gone beyond that. I'm not going to cover that. What we do know is Harris made a random statement, which I posted on social the other week, where he says, if it was just me and Fred on a Sunday, Fred would play all day, every day. He's a lovely kid and that there wouldn't be any issues. There was 2 things I took from that. So a lot of people were assuming that he was saying Fred was a Sunday player. He didn't say that. He didn't mean that because he also said in the exact same sentence that Fred's a great player. But I think he is getting at there is an issue from a third party there. That's my take on what Harris has said. There's an issue from a third party, and I'm imagining that third party to be Fred Onyedinma's agent. I know he had the same agent as Lookman. He used to. Remember Lookman, who went from Charlton to Everton, and about the same time Fred was doing well. If you remember, Fred was there was talk of Fred leaving at one point and going to Fulham when I was in the Premier League. So did Fred get too big for his boots? I don't think he's that sort of character. I just think Fred, I mean, if you see photos, even when Harry said he'll never play for the club again, he didn't get a squad number, they put a picture up and Fred's got a grin from ear to ear. He just doesn't seem that type of player. I think, excuse me again, I think if anything, it's probably the complete opposite. Fred's quite a quiet, naturally reclusive character and just happy to go along with things. Like he's quite a laid-back person. And in that instance, the agent has took hold of it and said, I'll sort this for you. And as a result, messed out with Neil Harris. But listen, I think they should draw a line under it. Neil Harris needs to come out and say one more thing. Me and Fred have resolved the issues, and that's it. Don't ever mention Fred again in any sort of social text. That's my advice to Neil Harris. Don't bring him up. Don't say anything. Just draw a line under it. We've sorted it out now. He's got a future at the club. He's 22 years old. He's a good player. I want him here. We're going to go out. We're going to try again and try and build bridges in this relationship. And Fred now is a Millwall player. That's his squad number. Bang. Don't ever mention again about him being like messy in training. Don't ever mention him again about he won't play. Don't have to say any of it because all it does is cause speculation and unrest and upset. But there you go. That's what I'll say. And just finally on the Fred thing, for me, it'd be a good move. Love to see him back. Ebullient, I like that word. The case of missing Meza, there's a question. I don't know what that is all about. Anthony Comley, one of our sponsors, I believe, for next season, Anthony. You are, yeah, I'll be able to sponsor the kit. Fucking hell, I wish, mate. YouTube don't pay like that. Yeah, so much Charles Stowworthy. I know you, Charles. You're all the way over in Amsterdam, mate, living over there, living a dream. He's maybe giving Fred in Portugal one last chance saloon, or maybe an opportunity to put Fred in the shop window. Maybe that's maybe one I didn't cover. Anna, again. Anna, I'm going to try and pronounce your surname. Anna Kiriakou. Anna Kiriakou? Sounds like a little bit of a kung fu name. I think it's like, no offence if it's not, but you see, look, or looking at it, looks a little bit Eastern European surname. Anna Kiriakou. Let me know if I've got that right now, just for my own personal interest. Chances of us putting the money up to get Saville back. Looking at a top 10 finish with Tomo and Saville. Well, if we... One, I don't think we'll get Saville back. Two, the £8 million gained for us was good business. But the way he's performed at Middlesbrough, I would say, for them, it's not good business. The manager that brought him in, obviously, Tony Pulis, has now left the club. And getting a player back again. There's so much I want to say on this. So it was all going through my mind at once, and actually nothing came out of my beak. But yeah, getting George Saville back. I don't think it'll work. You know, there'll be a lot of fans turning on him. I think Marshall come back last year. Proved it didn't work. I think Saville's gone there and maybe leave that one be. Also, you know, Thompson plays... When we was very successful, we finished 8th. It was Williams and Saville predominantly, if my memory serves me, as our midfield 2. And Saville was the more forward-thinking player in those two. Williams sat. I think Saville will be similar to Thompson, playing the high press, breaking up stuff. I mean, the amount of goals we scored when we played a high press 4-4-2 with Morrison, Gregory and Saville just being behind them, nicking balls back on the edge of teams' goal mouth areas and things like that. In hindsight, it's a nice idea. It's a nice idea to get Saville back, but in the long term, I don't think it's going to work. It's getting dark in here now. Can you still see me nice and clearly? Yeah, you still see me clearly, can't you? I don't like it. It's dark, but if I put my main light on, it leaves a massive reflection on the Lions TV logo. Anthony O'Brien, no relation to Aidan, says, is Preston a good game to start with? I don't know. Preston are good to get. It's as good a game as any to start with. I mean, they beat us twice last year, Preston, so we definitely owe them. They come to Den last year and done an absolute hatchet job on us. I think they was 3-0 up after about half an hour, weren't they? They was looking good for the playoffs. They didn't end up making the playoffs. Just going to turn the camera around a bit, sorry. And Preston, yeah, it's as good a game as any to start with. If you look at our start, it's actually not... I don't think it's I mean, there is no easy games in the Championship, but I don't think it's the hardest start. Let's have it right. Someone just asked me there, why was there no pre-match prediction for the first game? There has been no game. I'm currently filming the documentary. There'll be pre-match predictions out when the season starts, but there's not going to be any pre-match prediction. Obviously, the other boys with the fan predictions, they'll be back. But while we're doing... Why it is the summer, there will be no pre-match predictions for friendlies. No, there's no point in that. Any loan player? Someone just said, is there going to be any loan players coming in? I have heard there could be a loan player coming in from a young Premier League player, which I assume would be Herbie Kane, obviously, because we've already been linked with him. Played a lot of games for Doncaster last year, looked good for them. Again, we need to get the right balance in there. We need to get a sitting midfielder, I think, to play Ben Thompson. Moving on to on that same theme, another question: Could Billy Mitchell be the new Ben Thompson? Well, in ways they're similar. I've not seen loads of Billy Mitchell. He obviously scored that worldie against Tottenham in the FA Youth Cup at the Den. Fantastic strike. I thought Billy Mitchell was left-footed, but I've been corrected. He's actually right-footed, but he's just got a strong left foot. So both feet, local boy, supports Millwall anyway, which is always an added bonus. Not only for the fans to get behind them, but they listen. If you play for the club you actually support, it's going to give it extra 10%. I'm telling you now, that's why Ben Thompson's got it. Ben Thompson won't get extra 10% at any other club. So Billy Mitchell could be the new Ben Thompson. I don't think it'll be the new Ben Thompson. We don't actually need a new Ben Thompson at the minute. Our own Ben Thompson, I think, is only 23, 24, Ben Thompson. But I think Billy Mitchell definitely got a long-term future at Millwall. Robert Wickstead, I'm going over to a Millwall game. Where is the singing end? Well, there is no certified singing end. But I'll get a little bit of hate for this, but it's not a great atmosphere at Millwall for an average game. If you went to Millwall, for example, Millwall v Rotherham last year, or you go for another example, I'm trying to think of a Championship club, and there's fucking hundreds, and I can't think of any, but it's not hundreds, there's 24. But yeah, Millwall games, big Millwall games, a fantastic atmosphere. Big Millwall games, you get leagues down there, and the first game of the season will be decent. But if you play Birmingham at home on a Wednesday night, you're not going to get a lot out of fans. You get a lot out of fans from away games, that's why I actually prefer away games. I would probably say the loudest part of the den is the Dockers upper, I'd say. I'd say that's possibly the liveliest part of the den. Yeah, Scott Richardson, there you go, Block 18, which is the closest one to the away fans, so not surprisingly, the liveliest. Michael Heisman says, we've done good business so far. A real ambitious intent being displayed. Still think we need another 5 or 6 players. I think we do. I think you're right. I said I think we need 8 to 10 players at the start of the summer, and we signed 5 so far. So yeah, we're still about 3 to 5 off that. As I've said, I've covered already. We definitely need another goalkeeper. We potentially need a right back as cover for Marlon Romeo, unless he's prepared to put McNamara or James Brown in when he's fit. We definitely need another central strong midfielder, and we definitely need a centre forward. I would be over the moon if we got another 4 players in those positions. Right back cover for Marlon, competition for Frank Fielding in goal, a central midfielder to play alongside Ben Thompson as first choice, and break the fucking bank and get a decent striker in to compete with Tom Bradshaw. Would I like Josh McCraren at the Den? I have absolutely no idea who he is, mate. Sorry. A natural finisher would cost a lot, says Christophe de Hong. It would cost a lot, mate. It would cost a lot. But I've said it before. This is the situation we're in now. This is football. This is the modern day game. We do need a lot of players, and players do cost a lot of money. Say again, Tom Eaves was a steal going to Hull, absolute steal on a free, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I still think if you're looking to sign a Marquis, you're looking to sign a Kiefer Moore, you're looking to sign, decent strikers, decent defenders of a high rating, high standard in League One. It's going to cost you about 3 or 4 million for one of those. So yes, it will cost us a lot of money. I'd spend probably 5 million. I'd happily spend 6 million on Kiefer Moore and Jamal Lowe. I think they're the best of what we can possibly get with the level we're at as a club and the budget we're on. But yes, it is going to cost. Unknown. Serious question. This is what the unknown has asked me. Serious question. What do you think John Daddy smells like? My guess is freshly cut grass. I'll go close to that. I'd say he probably smells like a meadow in spring. They all smell fantastic, these footballers, don't they? What does John Daddy Bavarsson smell like? It's one of the best questions I've ever been asked on Lions TV. Hopefully, on a Saturday afternoon at 4:45, he smells like absolute shit. Ugh. He smells like absolute shit and stinks of sweat because he's run his balls off. But on a normal day, the Scandinavians... Is Iceland Scandinavia? Yeah, I think it is. The Scandinavians genuinely are a good-looking, healthy, clean-cut bunch. So I'm imagining he smells good. And if I'm going to have to put a fragrance to his name, I'm going to go for Creed Aventus because that's what I like. This is getting weird. Right, it's getting dark in here now. And what I'll say is we're an hour in. Now, I'm happy to continue if you want me to continue, but I will have to just quickly go and put some lights on. So do people want me to carry on, or shall we dig it now as it's been an hour? And it's 9:30. No, it's 9:30. Use AOB in a swap deal for low, says Roaring Lion. Defo carry on, Lawrence says. All right, let me put some lights on, see if it improves things. This is why I don't like doing live streams. Let's try the Lions TV light. Oh no, that looks like a brass house. We can't put that on. Not that I know what the inside of one of them looks like, by the way. How is that? No, that's even worse. My last attempt. How is that? No, it's too dark in here now. See, it's getting dark, and it's been over an hour. So I'll probably wrap it shortly. I've got one more attempt. Bear with me, boys and girls. Bear with. Whoa. How's that? Is that better? That is better, isn't it? Is that better? Sorry. Is that better? Yeah? There you go. Yeah, maybe that's better. I just found something over there and all on the floor. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but... Oh, the best club content creator on the planet. And I'll never let anyone forget that. Good, very good. Yeah, it's... I've got one more, actually. Right. There you go, that's better. Now, I'm sorry, boys and girls. There you go, that'll do. This is why I don't like doing live streams. I think live streams they're a bit of a lazy way out for people who can't do what I do. Let's put it that way. I think they're an easy way out for people that can't do what I do. But it's live, so we've got to roll with it. Oh, that's better. That's fine now. That's better, isn't it? Yeah, so let's carry on. I'm happy to carry on. What do you want to know? Talk to me. What do you all think? One asked you some questions. What do you think? I asked this one on social media the other day. Your opinions. Tyler Millwall says, who do I think our best signing is so far? Alex Pearce, but let's rule Alex Pearce out of that one. And I would Mahoney all day long. Mahoney, yeah, I think he's going to be, as I said, a cut above what we've got. My question to you would be, which we'll put on social media, out of 10, what do you think? What do you think of Neil Harris's transfer dealings so far out of 10? Rate it out of 10. Neil Harris's transfer dealings so far, and also who do you think is the best signing so far and the worst signing so far? Are you upgrading the quality of your streams? No, I know what you mean, mate. And pre-match predictions, and yeah, I am interested in getting a new camera. I'm streaming this off my phone, so it's not, live streams are not fantastic quality to look at. So sorry, but there you go. 6.5 out of 10, 7. Mark Parris says 8 out of 10. Tyler Barr is an underrated signing. I think he'll do well. 7.5, 6. Charlie MFC 6. Jordan 6.5. Michael Heisman 8.5. Yeah. No, Anna. Anna, did I get your surname right earlier? No, I'm talking about. She said Ryan Leonard's the worst signing. Let's start hammering Leonard now. No, we mean of the summer signings we've made this summer. 9. James Thought was over the move at 9. Lawrence Downs says a solid 7. I'd agree with that, mate. I'd agree with that, Lawrence. I'd agree with that 7 for me. You've done well so far. The only one I'm not over keen on is John Daddy Bavardson. And to be fair on Bavardson, I haven't got a real case for my argument on that one. I'm just going off gut instinct on that one. Solid 7.5. Am I going Mill under 23s against Eastbourne Borough or Hastings? I might do. I'm definitely going Gillingham next Sunday. I'm hearing we only got 500 tickets for Gillingham. And I'm definitely, I'll go Southend on the Wednesday. Why are we playing all these away games like down in Essex and Kent? What happens to Welling or Dartford? They're out the road from me, they're done. A Millwall 11, by the way, did play at Fisher on Friday night, and they won by 3-0 at Fisher. I don't know who played in that, because obviously the first team squad are in Portugal, so there was naturally no first teamers involved. But Yeah, Ollie Campbell says the under-23s are playing Welling on Friday night. Are they really? But they are and they aren't, because a lot of them are out in Portugal. Dan Harris says in recent iFollow interview he seems AOB certainly now and Scalak is coming good. I might have said it was coming good, but I read what I just saw. Harris and Scalak coming good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Aiden's done well for us. Aiden's done well for us over the last couple of years, without an absolute doubt. He's scored goals for us. He's played out of position when he's asked to. He's kept his mouth shut. He's worked hard. A problem Aiden's got is, I think Aiden, the way he runs, he looks lazy. I'm not saying he is lazy. I don't think he is, but he looks quite deliberate when he runs. He always looks like he's tired. But I think that's just the way he runs. He looks quite lackadaisical and quite like, oh, got to go up today and go play football. But I don't think he does think that, because he can score goals, the boy. We know that for a fact. So, but I don't think. I think the way the manager's talking, the way the gaffer's talking, is that our four forwards are going to be Smith, Bradshaw, Bavardson, and I think he's going to finally give Aiden the chance that Aiden wants and deserves to be a striker at the club. But I don't think it's going to work out for Aiden. I don't think the gaffer's going to give him the time he wants, and I don't, Aidan O'Brien is confident in his own ability, and I'm pleased for him. He's an Irish international, and I think he thinks he should be Mill's first choice striker. Whether you all agree with that is another question, but I think that's what Aiden wants. He wants the chance to prove himself up front. But I don't think he's going to get it under Harris. And I'm happy with Aiden, and I'm happy with Scalak as squad players, but I don't think those two players are happy just playing that role at the club. Paul Monkhouse says we are playing Welling. I've not seen anything on the club social, but I'll be all over Welling. It's up the road. If it's on Friday night, yeah, me and Mini-Me will probably pop along. Yeah, Lawrence is there. Lawrence, you've just said what I've said in my videos. Don't see a lot of difference between Bavardson and Aidan O'Brien, and people going, "Oh, Aiden's shit," but Bavardson ain't set the world on fire. Look at his record in England. I'm not saying Aiden's a world beater, but I'm saying it from the other corner of the perspective. Did that even make sense? Don't know, but I've gone with it, so let's roll. Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think Daddy's going to be... People going, oh, Aiden's shit, Bavardson's this and that. I don't think Bavardson's really going to be that great for us. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it does. It does say we're playing Welling, does it? I haven't seen it today. Do you hate West Ham? Richard Robert says Robert Wixford. Yeah, don't like West Ham. It's part and parcel of being a Mill fan, isn't it? Junior Drive, any news on us leaving? And anyone leaving us? No, I think all the players that have left... all the players that are going to leave have left, other than potentially Fred. As I've said, now we think Fred's turned the corner. Potentially Aiden. I think now we've turned the corner with Aiden, and I think they'll both stay. I think Tom Elliott could be the only one. I think it's plain to see that he's not part of our plans. But again, like with him and with if he didn't make the great Scalak, who would buy them? Who would honestly pay money for Tom Elliott? And that's no disrespect to Tom Elliott, but we brought him in. He'd go back to League One. He'd probably do all right in League One, but who's going to really buy him for a substantial amount of money? I don't think you'll figure this year. He's been injured actually in pre-season game against Concord, which hasn't helped his or our cause. It looks like we're going to be definitely stuck with him until the transfer window closes and then reopens. I think it's in January. So, yeah, difficult one. Do you think that Millwall should explore the Nordic market and lower league German market? Charles Stowworthy, will I need a ticket for Real Social at £1 a day? I'm pretty sure it'll be £1 a day, mate, right up until kick-off, but don't quote me on that, just check, but I'm 99% sure. But don't come all the way over from Holland and then you can't get in, because I'll feel horrible. The question before that, should we explore the foreign market? I don't know, it's difficult with the foreign market. What successes have we ever had from going into the foreign market? Christoph, the legend, Kinnett, sticks out in my mind. Any other players that have come from abroad and done well? Etienne Vivia, the Russians come over. I'm not saying they did well. Kulkov and Uran, but they did definitely come over. They've done all right in the bars down Elkin Road, apparently. I was only a kid then, but that's the rumours that I hear. Foreign market's a tough one to corner. And then going on to what I've covered previously, the lower league market, the non-league market. with social media now, players put themselves out there so much more. Videos on social media. Someone scores a worldie in the fucking Vanarama West Division 7. People take notice. People start watching, and that's why even now these non-league players, like I've said a million times before, when we got Morrison from Stevenage, when we got Gregory from Halifax, you wouldn't get them sort of players for that sort of money anymore. The game's changed. Social media definitely has pushed prices up, and yes, the foreign market and the lower league market, it's tough. It's just not easy. It's not easy. Millwall TV, my favourite player, my favourite current player is Ben Thompson. Could get overtaken by Conor Mahoney. Well, time shall tell. Right, I've covered that one. Any news on a defender from Dundalk? No, I don't know anything about that one, mate. Sorry. Yeah, Vardy's a good example of a non-league player. But also obviously partnered by Lee Gregory when they both spent time at Halifax. Elliot Grace, thoughts on Meredith? I'm pretty sure he's left the club, so I'm hearing. Who do I hate more, Leeds or West Ham? I don't really care. I don't hate on teams too much. I'm only really worried about what we're doing, to be honest. I'm not one of these people that goes proper hate, but... Ronnie Temple says, what is happening with the documentary, Dan? I spent a lot of time researching it, from the docks to the den, and I thought I had 12 weeks when the season ended. All of a sudden, I'm sitting in my pants eating Haribo's, and there's only 6 weeks left, and now I'm panicking. So I've done a lot of research, and the early stuff from when we was based on the Isle of Dogs, that obviously took a lot of research. The further you go into the documentary, the less research I need to do, especially from like 1980 onwards, because that's when I was born. I'm wrapped up now in the Isle of Dogs. I've got all the footage for the Isle of Dogs. I've edited all the footage from the Isle of Dogs. It's about 10 minutes long. Now, tomorrow I will be going to in and around the ground, obviously our first and second home in beautiful South Bermondsey. I've got some interviews to do next week and the week after, and then I'm going to cover. Once I've done the early years at the Den between sort of 1910 and 1950, I will cover the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the noughties, the 10s to now, with various guests from those eras, players, fans. I've got some good ones, some big ones lined up, some very big ones. A very big YouTuber lined up. If he doesn't let me down, massive YouTuber that's a Millwall fan, and some quite controversial ones as well from the 80s. We'll say no more if you can work that one out, because I don't want to ruin a surprise. But from the docks to the den, the documentary, I've loved doing it. I've absolutely loved doing it. Honestly, I didn't like school. Especially didn't like doing history in school. But I've really, really enjoyed doing this. And what I'm proposing that I might possibly do before the Real Sociedad game is I'm going to put out there on social media if anyone might be interested. No charge, free of charge. There's no money involved. But I might go and take people around the Isle of Dogs for a tour in the morning, right over to where the Morton's Jam Factory was, where the plaque is, where it says this is where it all began for Millwall Rovers, and then walk past, show you around the island, show you all 4 grounds that Millwall played out on the island, a couple of pubs that we was based out of, have a couple of pints along the way, and then we could all get the clipper, on the Thames clipper, the boat, across to Bermondsey in the afternoon. So I don't know, I just thought it might be nice. It only takes about an hour to do it, but I'm gonna throw it out there on social media. Probably anyone's welcome. There's no charge, no money involved. Don't want anything. Just would be nice to show anyone that wants to come around, do a little tour of the island, have a few pints in the pubs that we all played at, have a good day out, and then go to the Sociedad friendly. Yeah, if it's not gonna, it's free. So if anyone wants to come, I'm not charging you anything. You have to bring an Oyster card and some money for a couple of pints. Would I rather sell Tom Elliott or Archer? And that's an answer I don't have to... It's a question I don't have to answer anymore because Archer's gone. But just to give you a little bit of perspective, if I had the choice of selling Osama Bin Laden or Jordan Archer, keeping one at our club, I would have kept Bin Laden. Yeah. James Meredith got released. The club haven't announced anything. Only time will tell. Dan the tour guy, Lions TV tours. Yeah, basically, if we got the... for me, it's a train from Earing to Lewisham. Lewisham, DLR, along to Heron Keys, I think, where we start. And then you walk around the island. I think it'd be a good day, especially if the sun's out. It'd be decent. If anyone fancies it, you're welcome to join me. It's not something I'm definitely going to do, but I think I probably will do, and I think it will help the release of the documentary. The documentary is going to get released on the 1st of August. Hopefully, I might have a trailer out at the end of next week for you as well. The 1st of August, obviously 2 days before the season starts. James Meredith was someone just said, what a shame about Meredith. Meredith was superb in 2017-2018, a brilliant signing for us. Fantastic in his first season, typical Millwall player, aggressive, strong, liked him a lot. His distribution was always shit, in my opinion. He used to get on the overlap, but he couldn't cross the ball. He couldn't pass the ball 2 yards. But that didn't matter. He was so solid at the back, and he was an integral part of that 17-game unbeaten run. But then last season, I just don't know whether age caught up with him, legs went, I don't know. But he didn't play much last year at all, and I've heard he's left the club. But if he's left, he's left. Henry Salter says, how many minutes do I think George Alexander will get next season? I think George Alexander is a good young player, as I said before. I think the level of expectancy and a little bit of pressure on him is more than it would be for any other player, because obviously his dad Gary, who is a mate of mine I played against as a kid, was actually a right back when he played for Ziggy's, I'm sure. But anyway, there's a lot of expectancy on Alexander's shoulders. Let's have it right. If Gary Alexander hadn't played for me, well, no, I won't be getting asked these questions about George. I like George a lot. I think he's got a long, good future in the game, and at Millwall for that matter. But I think he could do going out on loan. I'd love to see him go out on loan, but I'd loan him to. I think he needs to play league football. I'd send him out either conference prem, but ideally League 2 to a team that are prepared to let him play. And I think he'd come on leaps and bounds and come back stronger for it. So yeah, definitely one for the future, and definitely a good player. 31 years at the Coldblow Lane. Want to see you there on the first game. Yeah, I'm always there. I'll be there, mate. Rear entrance of the South Stand at full time, getting busy on my little camera and my microphone, asking people questions. Someone just asked me how many points I think we'll get next season. I'm sure the manager's probably got a points total in mind, and I believe his points total that he has in mind will just to be, that's what we need to be safe, and everything after that is a bonus. But I don't know an actual points total. I can't. Can I get Lions TV in Tenerife? Gonna go. Can you get Lions TV in Tenerife? Well, it's YouTube, mate. You can get YouTube anywhere in the world. Do I think we can get pushed for the playoffs next season? I think it's ambitious. Christophe de Honquejana. I like that name. Probably not how you pronounce it. 45 points and we're safe. Someone else says 50. No free burger though, mate. Shout out Eddie and Tracy. Well, I've just shouted out Eddie and Tracy. There you go. And no free burger either, which is disappointing. Right, the questions are dying down a little bit. Oh, we've still got 180 people, 190 people watching. We're 70... I'll tell you what we are, right? We're 78 minutes in. We'll go to 90 minutes. We'll go another 12 minutes, and then that's your 90 minutes, and I can maybe think of a... For my live streams... Okay, let me ask you a question. For these live streams, I always call it Lions TV Live or something. I don't know what to call it. So, if I do them for 90 minutes, someone think of a decent title for that. You know, 90 minutes is obviously the length of a football match. Lions TV are going to do a 90-minute live stream once a week. Someone think of a chazzy name for me. Anyone? Any ideas on that? I mean, don't all queue up at once. Roaring Lion. Fred just got a new house in Dartford. Good luck to him. The 90-minute makeover. We'll have a little... No, but it's got to be Millwall related or Lions TV Raws. Yeah, not bad. In the lion's mouth. Oh, Charles, you mustn't. I want it to be based around it being 90 minutes plus Lions TV in there. I'm not sure it'll work. Lions TV makeover. No, I don't want like it's not like The Only Way is Lions TV or nothing. I want it to be incorporated 90 minutes, like so people will get the sense it's a football match basically with me. There you go. There you go. Jed's got it. Is it him, Jed? Jed's got it. There you go. Jed, it's gone again. What was Jed? Put it again. 90 minutes on Raw. Jed, put yours up again, mate. It went quick and I've missed it. 90 minutes with the lemon squeezer. 90 Lions live. Barnhurst Lion. Hello, mate. You live in the same place as me. Lion News, yes. Lion News 90. I like that. What do you think of that? So if I put up new video up tonight, Lions News 90. Why do I keep forgetting that? It's really easy to remember. I'm looking for my phone now. I'm streaming into it. I've lost my head. Lions News 90. Well done, Jed. Yeah, I like that. It's good. Ben Thompson is better than Paul Pogba. Wow. I don't know why I think I'm going to forget the title. Lions News 90. Yeah, I like that. Well done, Jed. Lions News 90. Very impressive. James Battyman. That's not a real surname. Come on. Batty Flex. Any more questions? Any more for any more? We're at 180 people watching. Lions News 90. I like it. Anna, again, Kiriakou says, Elliot and AOB and cash for Lowe. For Jamal Lowe. For Jamal Lowe, yeah. That's good in theory for us. We get rid of two players that don't really get in, and we get Jamal Lowe. But I don't think Elliot is good enough for Portsmouth. I think AOB could do well there, but I don't think they want to sell Lowe. And I don't think they're going to accept anything other than $3 million plus cash for Jamal Lowe. I just don't think they're going to do it. I think we have to play to Portsmouth terms. We have to give them what they want, and in effect, I don't think they want Elliot or AOB. Although it would work in theory for us. Someone just said thoughts on Frank Fielding. Yeah, when we was going to get Barkowski, someone posted, his highlight reel, and I thought it was shocking. I thought it was shit. A lot of Barkowski's saves came from him dropping an original shot, and then the rebound getting smothered in a good recovery. But sorry, Mum, just read that one again. Sorry. And then Frank Fielding, someone posted then, Frank Fielding, when we signed him, best show reel of mistakes and best saves. And when I watched it was like one mistake. The rest were decent. I've heard he's a good goalkeeper. I think he's a good goalkeeper. The only problem apparently is with him is his distribution apparently isn't great. But he can catch a cross. He can save a shot from 40 yards, which other goalkeepers previous. Do you know what? I'm actually bitter about Archer. I actually physically dislike him, and I shouldn't. I don't know him. And he's left me a wall now, and I promised myself I wouldn't talk about him, but when I think of goalkeepers, I think of Jordan Archer, and I just end up... It just gives me the fucking hump. Matt Wicks, thoughts on Leyton Orient? I don't support Leyton Orient. There's rumours. There's always rumours. There's all sorts of shit that gets spoke about online about me. It's funny. It's actually entertaining, because there is no such thing as bad press, but obviously before I did Lions TV, I worked for London Live, and I had to go around all the grounds in all the London teams and do a fan guide, and that's where I got the idea for Lions TV. So I've done, like, in the past, I've done a Crystal Palace fan guide. I had to do a West Ham fan guide. It was my job. An Arsenal one, a Leyton Orient one, a Fulham one, and every now and again these videos will pop up online and say, see, he don't even fucking support me. Well, he supports West Ham, he supports Spurs, he supports Leyton Orient. So I don't know if that was implying any of the things I've just mentioned, but no, Leyton Orient are a club in East London that were decent back in the day and fell out of the league. They just got promoted again, I believe, and obviously sadly their manager Justin Edinburgh died suddenly. That's it. I don't know why you've asked me on Leyton Orient, but there you go. There's my answers. How do I think Brad Shaw will do this season? I think he'll do well. Martin Carlson says, why do I support Millwall? Because my dad does, and because his dad does, and because that's where my family are originally from. Peckham, Camberwell. I was born in St Thomas's Hospital in Waterloo. My family moved out into the suburbs, Bexley, when I was about 2 years old. There you go, there's your answer. CL2 says 90 minutes on the penalty spot. No, I like... Lions News 90. Well done, Jed. You might remember that. Going to use that from now on. From now on, these shows will be called Lions News 90. And if it is Lions News 90 in a 90-minute match, we are into injury time, the last 5 minutes. James Batten was born in King's College, Camberwell. Know it well, mate. The Kimberly Bullock says shut up. I don't know if that's to me or something. But anyway, someone else says that the fans don't help Tom Elliott's confidence. It's not easy to play... Scott Richardson, have I ever done any modelling? Only balaclavas and hand cream, Scott. Other than that, no. Someone just said there that the fans don't help Tom Elliott's confidence. I don't think Neil Harris helped Tom Elliott by signing him for Millwall. I've said this a million times before, and I'll say it again. What was going on in the gaffer's head when Lyle Taylor, was at the club at the same time, strike partner with Tom Elliott, and Neil Harris being a very great goal scorer, as we all know, our all-time top goal scorer. What made him look at Tom Elliott and think, I'm going to buy him? Yeah, for me, but I do understand for me, the blame lies with Harris for signing a player that isn't up to the standard of football. But I do know what you're saying. The fans probably don't help, but you get, as a professional footballer, you've got to understand that the job and the money you get comes in turn with pressure and expectancy from fans. You're going to get any level of shit, you're going to get it. I started this fan channel, I'm going to get shit. You put yourself out there, you're exposed, you're a professional footballer, you're going to get abuse from fans. That's it. You've got to live with that. But as a professional footballer, I do expect it is especially hard to succeed at Millwall. And I feel for Tom Elliott. He's done everything he can at the club. He tries his hardest. Unfortunately, his hardest is just not good enough. What do I think of the new kit? No, not for me. Not for me. Best three Millwall kits ever, home kits, best three Millwall home kits, was the Fairview Homes kit from 1991, I believe that was, or 91, 92. Also, the kit when we got promoted the other year against Bradford, the white with the stripes, loved that. That was second place. And then, obviously, when we was in what in today's terms is the Premier League, the Lewisham kit with the dark blue, the light blue, loved it. Iconic, them photos with Sheringham and Cascarino, Terry Erlock at Anfield running against John Barnes in those kits, skin tight, loved them. Braniff was worse than Elliott. Braniff was worse than Elliott and Matt Cameron. I think I know what you've got there, yeah. What do you think the real reason for Millwall's was being lied to about Portugal? I covered this earlier. Giorgio kit's alright, mate. The white, I like the home kit, yeah, the home white one. A lot of people seem to like that. I don't want to say the club lied, but you said there in your comment, what do I think of the club lying to us as fans? And I don't want to tarnish the club with lying, but it's hard for me to find a different term, in fear of not knowing a different term of how to put it. Look, they knew when they got there that this shitstorm was going to happen. They knew that. Of course they knew that. They knew the second that Brentwood? Why did I say Brentwood? Fleetwood fans turned up. The second Fleetwood fans turned up and it went on social media, they knew what was coming. And they knew that the Fleetwood fans were going to be there and it was going to happen. It's difficult, Millwall. Our reputation does precede us, and I do feel for the club in that sense. But something's got to give in this day and age, as I said before. And they have come out and apologised, and it wasn't a great apology, was it, company? It's just gone off quick. To put something out, it seems like the apology they put out was like, look, just quickly put something out to shut them up and be done with it. And that's sort of what happened. But what this will do now with people challenging them on it, some people say, oh, don't be a busy bastard, don't stir the shit. The Millwall fan on the board has approached them about it, which fair play to him. I haven't always seen eye to eye with a Millwall fan on the board, but I do think he does a good job as a Millwall fan on the board. The Millwall Supporters Club have challenged the club on it, and what that does is that now raises the issue of the club having to, when people with actually a little bit of substantial sway to their character, I know what I mean. You want to someone who has a bit of clout about them, basically, if you understand that. Like the supporters club, like the fan on the board, it'll go, oh, hang on, what's going on here? And then the club have to respond to that then. And what this will do is, with these people challenging the club, this will now in turn ignite and spark something off that this won't happen again, and we should get to go on the tours. I should be out in Portugal now. Instead, I'm sitting here talking to you, which is obviously lovely, but yeah, it's a difficult one. Right, that is 89 minutes gone. Wow, there's still a lot of questions coming through. But I need to end it, boys and girls. I've got to get up early tomorrow, and I've got to go to beautiful South Bermondsey. I'll be getting the train to New Cross in the morning, then walking to the ground, walking past the old ground, doing a bit of filming. And on the documentary, the docs are then out, of course, on the 1st of August, which is about 3 weeks away. I don't think it's even that. So I've got to get my arse in gear, get to bed now. But thanks for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. As always, please subscribe to Lions TV. We are only 110 subscribers away from that magic number, and I'll be giving away shitloads of stuff. As I said, I'm going to throw 2 Preston match tickets into that mix. But that's it. Honestly, thanks always. Maybe I don't say enough, but thanks always for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Your support, the good and the bad. It's all good. Makes no difference to me. I will see you next week at some point. Hopefully, we'll sign a couple more players. Have a good week. It's Monday tomorrow, so enjoy that the best you can. But that's your lot. God bless. Enjoy it. All the best. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions. I say come on, you Lions. I can't turn the fucking thing off. Oh, it is there.